Today's video is going to go over how to create a miniature hat using just a few basic materials. These make great ornaments, decoration of some sort, and since it's winter here, this is a perfect time to work on something like this. So, you will need cardboard tube of some sort. This is a paper towel tube, and some scissors, so you need something to cut those with. Alright, and we're cutting these about 1/2 to 3/4 inch rings is basically what we're creating. I don't measure them exactly, it's just a rough estimate. If you want to measure them, you can do that. Okay, so there we go, roughly 3/4 of an inch. Alright, so you need one ring, and then you need a bunch of yarn cut up to about 11 inches. I also have a piece of 8.5 by 11 inch copy paper here, just showing you that it's roughly 11 inches, so we are able to make this work with our cardboard ring. Now, I actually am using two colors today that I'll be alternating back and forth. So I'm going to be using gray and the violet here. Now, as far as how many strings you have to cut, that depends on the weight or the thickness of the yarn that you're using, or the type of string. So you will have to kind of estimate. You just keep cutting and making strings until you have enough to cover this whole piece of cardboard. So you just keep trimming those, and once you have one, it's pretty much just line it up with the last one and keep moving. Alright, so I've got a few started here. So what we'll do is I'll show you how we're actually going to attach them. So I take my string, or yarn here, and make a little loop. These two parts are staying out. Okay, and then I'm just running it through here like this. Push those two little stray pieces through. There's no tying involved, you just put it through like that. And then you just keep adding yarn around as you go. You can do one section of gray and then purple, or you can alternate colors as you go. Alright, so we'll continue on. Okay, so I've cut up several purple strings, several of the gray. Okay, so they are ready to go, so I can keep working for a while, and if I need to cut some more, I have more available. Alright, so let's continue on. I think I'm going to do like a half and half pattern. So again, we're taking our yarn and we're creating something like this. Okay? And then you're taking the two loose ends and you're pushing them through that loop. So let's put it across here. Okay, once you get the loop on this side, pull those through. And then I line everything up here. And we slide them together, and then you go ahead and get another one. Okay, so there it is. Make your loop. Alright, I'm going to run it through here. The two loose ends go through the loop. You're trying to keep them fairly even. And then slide it over, and you keep going. Eventually, you're going to cover this whole piece of cardboard so that we won't even see it. So continue working on your loops and adding that on, and then we'll look at how we finish it up. Alright, so I've added all of my string, and I'm about halfway around now. That took 18 pieces of yarn for those who have to have some exact numbers, but remember, that could change based on the thickness or density of your fibers that you're using, and this yarn is, it's a great way to use up leftover yarn, so sometimes you don't have the labels, you don't know what you're working with. So you have to adjust accordingly, but there were 18 pieces of yarn to do that side. So now I'm going to switch colors, and I'm still doing the same thing. And now I'm going to switch to violet or purple, whichever word you're preferring to describe that with, and we're going to add them on. So still making that loop, those two extra strings go through the loop, and then pulling it tight, and then sliding it up against the one we have here, and then continuing around until we get to this side. When we're done, we should not see any of the cardboard showing through. So continue working. Now that we have all of the purple and the gray string in place, or the yarn in place, we're ready to finish this off. So what I do is I make sure these are all facing pretty much the same direction, even them out. Then I'm going to take this, and sometimes it's easier to twist the yarn together a little bit, push it through the hole. You're going to keep going till it comes all the way through. Then you're going to push these little pieces under where we created our loop exchange there, and we're going to push them through so it looks something like that. Everything looks fairly evened out. And then this side is now becoming the bottom part of your hat, your stocking cap. Okay, and then we need another piece of string, and it can be either color that you were using. But you just decide how high up you want your hat to be. So this is the only part you have to tie. Okay, so get that on there, pull it really tight because that's creating the top portion of your hat. Okay, and then I usually do it one more time to make sure it doesn't come undone. Because right now it will. Okay, and then this part, I usually just do a quick knot at the top to give yourself a loop to hang it up with. See if it cooperates. Okay, so we've got that tied. Good deal. Now, this is where you can trim this up because we've got some extra. You decide how much of a puffy top do you want here. Let's see. Trim off whatever you see fit. Okay, so then you've got this nice little, there we go. We've got our nice little stocking cap, 2 colors. We can hang it up, save those other scraps for some other art project, and hopefully you had some fun today and created something that looks really cool. Experiment with some different colors, different patterns, and these make great gifts. I had students make them in previous years and give them away. So hopefully you had fun.